What's going on, everybody? It's Top Bets. We're checking back in. We got our Week 5 on the dot NFL live stream coming at you guys here on another beautiful Sunday morning right before kickoff. We got about a couple hours to go. Optimism is at an all-time high every single Sunday morning. Just the anticipation to be let down is just awesome. It's just awesome. But no, I appreciate you guys tuning back in. If you guys are here, give us a shout in the comments. As always, this stream is brought to you guys by Occupy Fantasy. Make sure you guys go check those guys out. Brian, Moose, Chris, Chuck, all those guys over there do a fantastic job. Not only on NFL, they have MLB playoffs they've been killing, and then they got the NHL season coming up with the NBA as well. So, and of course, I think they won a pretty good amount of money on UFC last night. So they got whatever you are looking for DFS wise. Go look at those guys up and sign up with the referral link below. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a couple comments here. We got Justin here. We got it's time. It is definitely time. We got today's the day the Colts break the streak. I doubt it. I'm not too sure. Weather looks absolutely atrocious for that game, by the way. Heavy rain. The wind, it's not going to be good. So ground and pound with Trey Sermon. So there you go. Ground and pound with Trey Sermon. All right, keep those questions coming. If you guys first time here, appreciate you guys. We will go through a spread, a total, a teaser, and 3 prop bets, along with an anytime touchdown pick to click play of the day. Hasn't been the start that we wanted to, but we have plenty more weeks to go. We're only on week 5. It's been a month in the season. September is always a little bit of a slow start with figuring out, how teams are actually playing. You can only go off of last year's data, so much to be an accurate capper here. But moving forward, the data is clear, more clear. So we should be able to hit some more bets during the show here. So yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to, if this is your first time here, love to hear from you guys. Whether it be a prop bet, fantasy start sit, and we'll also discuss a little bit of DFS strategy as well. All of my DFS, research stuff comes from Occupy. I use their lineup builder, their models. For people that play high risk and low risk, anything DFS, those guys absolutely kill it. So make sure you guys check those guys out. What do we got? How about Bama? CCD Sports Talk. What's up, buddy? Yeah, that was crazy. You had Vandy upset Bama. I mean, what was it? 1, 4, 9, 10, or no? Yeah, 1, 4, 9, 10. Or there was like 4 or 5 big upsets yesterday during the college football. That's why it's always fun betting on those student athletes now more than ever, that they don't really care about winning, because all they care about is money. But that's another discussion someday. Dom, what's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Let's go, Dot. Yeah, and we have a same game parlay cooking in the for the London game. If you guys have been watching the London game, I don't know what the score is. I think it was 17-0 last time I checked. But Aaron Jones went ahead and ruined it because I don't think he's coming back in the game with a hip pointer injury. So that sucks. But nonetheless, we have plenty to offer here for the next 25 minutes. And we also make sure you guys tune into the Occupy Discord or my own Discord. We will have anytime touchdown parlays posted in there. We'll probably go around 3 or 4 today. I do like some positions on those, and we will look to go for our second hit in the first 5 weeks of the season. So if you guys remember, week 1 killed it with the plus 6,000 one. So that was a fun one. Let's look to repeat that as well. We got Rodgers is washed right here. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if Devontae Adams fixes that. Let me know in the comments where you guys think Devontae Adams will go. My feeling is Baltimore. If he wants to go to a contender, Steelers is another good option I've seen. I just don't think he improves the Jets' core issues there. But yeah, let me know where you guys think Rodgers goes. Yeah, down went 1, 4, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so I was close. That was yesterday in college football. It was absolutely insane. And then, yeah, Miami did pull one. I went to sleep. It was like 28-10 Cal or 21-10 Cal. And of course, we bet Cal. So, we were on the right side the whole time. So it didn't matter. But I could not believe I woke up and it was 39-38. Absolutely crazy. Oh, this does not surprise me one bit. The Saints fan himself, true contender, goes to New Orleans. I mean, I could see it. You definitely could see it. You put him with Olave, Kamara. Just I just don't know. Derek Carr is made for the playoffs. Don't know yet. Adams to the Steelers. Yeah, that'd be interesting. You got Pickens. Then you'd have Adams, Fields. I think Fields is the starter for the rest of the season. I would think. I don't think we're going to see any type of Russell Wilson this year unless Fields gets hurt. All right, enough with the small talk. Let's get back. Let's get to the picks. Okay. All right. So we have our first one. Okay, we're going to go with a spread. Many spreads that I like today. I threw 3 in to subscribers. This is one that I thought I was going to go with the other side, but the Bills are absolutely decimated with injuries. Decimated, especially on the defensive side. So I'm rolling with the Texans at home here. I wanted to go with the Bills with the bounce back factor here after just horrendous Ravens game, but I just think the Texans are the right side. The line is moved. It's a 1.5 on FanDuel. It's still 1 across the boards at every other book. I think this could be steamed a little bit more by kickoff. You could get to 1.5s across, which I'm surprised by because the only thing I really wish Mixon was playing, because the way you absolutely demolish this Bills defense is running the football, and Cam Akers is the worst running back in the league. He's terrible. And he has not been very, very good whatsoever. Not saying that, third weekend, yeah, he could kind of figure it out, but he's been in the league for some time, and you kind of know who he is. But Stroud, he gets Tank Dell back. They got Nico has been a beast, and then a Diggs revenge game here. I think the Texans at home will be able to take care of business. I do think it's going to be a nice back and forth game, even though the Bills are without Khalil Shakir. I think he's the reason why they've won so many games. Obviously, you got Josh Allen, but Shakir makes I think extends drives and gets the best separation out of those wide receiver crew. And now you're going to have to rely on Keon Coleman. Then you got Curtis Samuel, and I think Dalton Kincaid's in for a big game. So if you're playing DFS, I think that's a good spot for Kincaid, as he should slide into wide receiver 1 production. But you'll get Samuel and Coleman that should have some run too, and then MVS might just keep running sprints for him. But this Texans air raid should prevail. You got Ed Oliver out. You got Von Miller, is not kind of a shell of himself. I think the Texans, with this high-powered offense, even though they cannot run the football, should still win this football game. I think they win by at least a touchdown or more. So give me the Texans here, -1. Get the over on DK or any other sports, but basically besides FanDuel. All right, we went with unders for the longest time, and there's several spots where there's good unders. Several spots. I mean, you got. Let me just pull up the live odds here over on Occupy's website. And as all of you guys have known, if you guys have tuned in, the OccuProp radar, which we'll use shortly, huge advantage if you can just get the best line on these props and the best odds. So make sure you guys are looking at the OccuProp radar. I'll show you guys how to use that soon. And then you got the live odds here. And go over to the NFL sport, and you got the spread, money line, and over-unders. So clearly go over here to the over-unders, and some of these unders, Miami and New England, that's a good spot. Just 2 horrendous offensive teams. You just would think Miami. I almost took Miami for the show. I couldn't do it. I think I think they roll, but I didn't want to do it to the show. I didn't want. I might lose my own money on that game. I don't want to lose anybody else's money. Then you got Vegas and Denver, another low total game there, which I think is a good spot for an under. But yeah, those are probably the two under spots that I was planning on doing. But we're going to go with an over, and we're going to go to the Los Angeles Rams Packers game. And I got 48.5. We'll judge it by 49s because that's what it is on the screen here. Yeah, 49. It has absolutely been steamed up from, I think it started at 47, and it's just climbed throughout the week, which entails some people to buy back. I'm just going to hop on here. I I truly think this Rams offense in the third week without Puka and Cup should keep producing because you have the last two games they've scored 27 and then and 18. So it's not like they've been inadequate as an offense. When you have Stafford as your quarterback, he just makes things happen. And Kyron Williams is an elite, and they get in the red zone, more than likely they're going to put it in the end zone with Kyron. I think he scored like 6 or 7 touchdowns this year. It's been insane. So I'm not worried about the Rams offense. Rams defense is something that you can pick on each and every week, and I think it doesn't change here with the Packers. The only thing that I could think of that would eliminate this over would be the Packers just absolutely extend drives with Jacobs and Wilson, and they just run it down their throats and run the clock out. But with LaFleur and McVay, both these guys are offensive minded. They want to show off. I think this is a high powered shootout game. Great DFS spot if because you can go pretty cheap with these guys. You got Wicks. I know Romeo Dobbs. He doesn't like his role currently, but he's all for sitting out this game. So you got Wicks and you have Reed and Tucker Kraft. So you got some young elite explosive receivers here for the Packers, and that Rams defense can't stop anybody. Can't stop a nosebleed. So that is definitely a spot here where I think the Packers score 30 plus, and you could see the Rams, get up into the high teens, the low 20s, easily getting over here in LA with perfect conditions. And we got CCD Sports, the Snoop. All right. So yeah. Packers Rams over 48.5. Wow, I like the shootout out there over in LA. Let me know what you guys think of those Texans and then the Packers Rams over. The way the show has gone, that means the Packers Rams might score 20 in the entire game. But nonetheless, we're going to go with an over here. And if you guys have been tuning into the show, we are 0 for 4 on teasers, and which is insane to me because I was hitting them at an elite rate last year. So I'm looking to right the ship. I'm not messing around. I'm not getting cute. But these two teams, they should run away with it. I also we started another Survivor, so we start from week 5 and go because so many people have gotten out. So we got about 50 or 60 guys in there now, all in for 200 pop. So winner take all. And I'm going to go with probably the easiest team to pick this week, and I'm going to go with the Seahawks. And I'm going to leads me into this teaser here with Seahawks -1, 49ers -1.5. Over on -120. I got that over on DraftKings. Sorry. The 49ers have ticked up to 7.5. Just teasing these guys down. A little bit more of a juice, doing it that way. Last week, we just had I think it was the Jets. I mean, how the Jets lost that game to the Broncos, but then following up with this performance in London, I think Salah's on the hot seat. I just think that the Jets overall are just a shit show. But how they lost at home to the Broncos last week was disgusting. Otherwise, we cashed that 3-team teaser. So I'm not going to play around here. We're going to go Seahawks, 49ers should roll. You got the 49ers at home versus the Cardinals division game. Do think it could be close. But with the way Murray's been playing, he hasn't been that great. And this 49ers team air raid over this Cardinals defense should be a great spot in DFS if you're looking for Purdy, bounce back Ayuk, get Debo, Kittle, and then obviously if you play Jordan Mason in low risk, it's a no-brainer. Seahawks, I don't see this Giants offense being able to extend drives without Malik Neighbors and Devin Singletary. You got Tracy coming in as the starting running back, and then you also have Wan'Dale Robinson, who just runs an out route or a button route and boom, gets a 6-yard reception each and every time. So just don't see this explosive offense here for the Giants. I think the Seahawks, Kenneth Walker, Metcalf, Lockett, JSN, they're going to be way too much. So I think this is the easiest teaser on the board. I hope for no funny business. But the way the NFL works this year, it should be some funny business. But so if you want to go the exact opposite and tease the two road teams, go right ahead. But I'm rolling here 6-point teaser with the Seahawks 49ers. This is a subscriber play as well, so we got 2 units on it. We should cash this. We got a couple comments here. Dom, we got tailing, also taking Texans money line. Justin, yeah, I really, really, really cannot see the Bills pulling it out there. It's going to be tough. Texans should be too much air raid. And we got Singletary doubtful too. Yep, yeah, he's gone. He's going to be out. Then we got it's Tracy and Wandell Robinson and Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton. I mean, come on. There's no way you're going to go into Seattle and win. So clip that piece whenever it does, and just put a clown face on my face, on me, and just tell me I'm a shit capper or something. But yeah, I just can't see it. Just can't see it. All right, so let's get to the props. We got 3 of them. Three of them. I'm actually going to give you guys a ladder play on one of them. But for right now, as always, we go to the AccuProp Radar. Let's go back to the Occupy website. Go to AccuProp Radar. And we're going to go to the Washington Browns game. Washington, the Commanders versus the Browns. And we're going to go with the sensational Jaden Daniels over 9.5 rush attempts. Over 9.5 rush attempts. And he's hit this in 3 or 4 games. And you're probably saying, well, this Browns defense is probably going to be the hardest defense he's played all year long, which is true. And this is the angle that I like to go here, especially now that Brian Robinson is in. If Robinson was out, I would think that the option wouldn't be as effective. But this for this week, Robinson's in. He's good to go. And I think that option, he's going to keep it more. So that's where I like this over 9.5 angle here. And you can see here as the total rushing attempts over on AccuProp's radar here, you got over 9.5 across the board, less juice over on FanDuel, so easily take it over there. But yeah, you got this Browns team who pressure at like the 6th highest rate in the league. And when Jaden's been blitzed, he's ran it on like 20% of those blitzes. So he's going to have opportunities. And then also with this, if the Commanders continue to roll, you got kneel downs too down at the end of the game. I don't think it's going to come to it. I think he's going to have at least 10 rushing attempts. But even that, the factor that Robinson's in, and he's going to be somewhat not 100%, he's going to keep those more those option plays. So I look for Jaden Daniels. If you don't like the rushing attempts, take his over rushing yards. It's over at like 51.5, but I think that's like the highest it's been all season. So it's getting up there. I remember getting it like 37 week 1. So it's just gone up and up and up. So you might be getting at its peak right now. But I do like the total rushing attempts. I know that he's been, passing the ball extremely efficiently and it's been very, very well. But again, the Browns defense is going to be one of the best that he faces. He's going to be blitzed at a high rate. Look for him to get outside the pocket and make things happen with his feet. Okay, that is one of us. So here's another one that I like. And this is a guy I threw in my Millie Maker lineup just last week. And when he went off, I was like, okay, I got a spot. I got a pretty good a leverage spot in the Millie. And he was like 1% owned. Not expecting that this week. I think he's going to be more highly owned. I probably won't put him in my Millie Maker lineup, but I'll have him more in my cash lineups just because of this guy. It's cheap and his ownership's gone up a little bit. If you watch that game, Xavier Legette has been he was a beast, and he actually played not up to his full potential, in my opinion. I think he ran some bad routes, and it wasn't all there with Dalton. But he still had 10 targets and 6 receptions on 10 targets. So, and I think it was the first look on like 30% of Dalton's dropbacks. So he is their, I think he's their, like I wouldn't say their best receiver, obviously Deontay Johnson, but he's not going to get the Deontay Johnson treatment here. He's going to be a little bit more run free, have the Adam Thielen routes, but I do like to ladder this one. So over 3.5 is the official play. Minus 128 on FanDuel. And I thought this was, I saw this last night, and I figured it was going to get steamed into like the minus 140s, minus 150s, but it has stayed down there. So let me show you guys here over on the AccuProp Radar. just show you guys what it currently is at. So wow, it actually did get steamed a little bit. So I literally got minus 128 before the stream, but it's minus 146 now. So it did get steamed because everybody woke up and said, "Yeah, no shit, this makes sense." So let's take it. Let's do minus 135 over on Caesars. That's what I'll take. But minus 140. I got minus 128 on FanDuel earlier. Do like this position. And if you want to ladder it, so by laddering it means going. I use FanDuel for ladder or DraftKings and taking them 4 plus, 5 plus, 6 plus, 7 plus, 8 plus receptions and lowering your unit amounts up to that. So my favorite spot would probably be 5 plus receptions for plus 135. And then you have 6 plus at plus 240, 7 plus 410, and then 8 at plus 700 over on FanDuel. So ladder Xavier Legette this week. He's not going to have, I don't think he's going to have Jalen Johnson on him as well. And he's been the first read for Dalton all last week. And even from those reads, I still think he left a lot on the table. So I think they're going to go back to him this week. Just won't be my Millie Maker darling like it was last week. 1% owned gives me like 20 plus points. And that was a no-brainer play for me last week. This week, I'll stay off him, but I do like the matchup once again. And if he can get 6, 7, 8 targets, I mean, he could win somebody the million this week. All right, so there's Xavier Legette there. Over 3.5 is the official play. And then we're going to go to I highlighted this in the teaser spot where you have the Seahawks and the 49ers. And we're going to go with the man that absolutely came back from injury and looked elite. Absolutely explosive. So Kenneth Walker III, over 70.5 rushing yards. And that is over on FanDuel. Let's bring up the OccuProp Radar one last time. Showing him this, he's projected over 17.5 or 17 rush attempts, 16, 17 rush attempts. You got 70.5, you got 72.5 over on DraftKings. Hit this in both games that he's played this year. He's been extremely explosive, especially, I was hesitant. A lot of people didn't play him against the Lions. It was a tough matchup, and he absolutely looked like he got shot out of a cannon. 3 touchdowns. If you want to go back to the well there with the anytime touchdown, it's like minus 185. But because he's in a great matchup here. But the Giants, B-Rob got 133 week 2. Aaron Jones got 94 week 1. And the Giants D did let up 5 yards per carry to the Browns running back crew, who's terrible, and the Giants running back crew that is terrible. The Dallas running back crew that's terrible. So you have this Giants defense, that is you can run on, and at home 7-point dogs. Zach Charbonnet has not been a good runner whatsoever this year. It's not even his role. And you're telling me he's going to get close to 16, 17 rushing attempts here. I'd be shocked if Walker does not get this number here. So give me Kenneth Walker over 70.5 rush yards. All right, let me know if you guys have any other prop questions, spread questions, total questions, DFS, and then season long start sits, because I'll be here for another about 5 minutes or so, recapping and going over our anytime touchdown score. Let's get a little pick to click here and get us back on the board. We hit it week 1. We've missed it our last 3 weeks. Pollard had the the run on the 1 yard line didn't go as planned, as they faked it and went to the tight end. And then last week you had Travis Kelce, who I absolutely love that spot. Would take it again, but then Rashi goes down, and then you know the story over there. He had a great game, but just the offense as a whole, when you lose a big part like that, just dynamically changes in an in-game scenario. Look for Travis to be well informed and going to play very well on Monday night for sure. All right, so let's get to the pick to click. We are going to go. Let me bring him up on the OccuProp Radar real quick. And it's a guy that He's been absolutely balling this year. It was a late draft pick of mine in one of my leagues. And we're going to go to Chuba Hubbard plus 130 over on FanDuel. Actually, it's plus 125 now. I got 130 earlier today. But yeah, it's a score touchdown. So if you guys have been here before, you guys know I like to see these odds. And then Caesars, kind of have a little bit of a roller coaster. Caesars at minus 106. So, but I guess must have got heavy numbers over there on them. But plus 120, plus 125, plus 130 across the board over on the other sports books there. So let's take plus one. I got plus 130, plus 125 is fine over on FanDuel. But he gets to go up against this Bears team that has let up 5 rushing touchdowns in the first 4 weeks of the season. You have, let's see, I think they've gone. Kyron got a score last week. Taylor had 2 the week before. Trey Sermon got in himself the week before. Tony Pollard has got in as well. So a lot of running back ones have scored. Chuba is the clear RB1 there in Carolina. And look for this little correlation of Xavier Legette getting them down there and Chuba slamming it home. That's how we're going to play this. And look for the Panthers. I think the Panthers could win outright today against Chicago. I think that's a good spot too if you want to take a dog today and get a little frisky there with an underdog. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'll recap real quick. We got the spread of the day. We're gonna go Texans at home. Air raid should dominate. And speaking of the Texans, so my top 3 DFS stacks. I was going to include Jacksonville, but that weather game. I love that Lawrence was cheap. I love that Thomas was cheap. I love that Kirk was cheap. However, with that weather, I stayed away from it. You got 3 other positions that I like. Not I wouldn't say better because I would like to just pound on the Colts. But Burrow at home, got to play a very, very clean game there against the Ravens. So you could go Burrow, Higgins, Chase. It's affordable with the cheap pieces this week. And then you also have Houston. I like Houston at home. You can always bring it back with Kincaid or Samuel or Coleman. Pretty good run back spot in a game that I think is going to be back and forth. And then San Fran. So I mentioned San Fran in the teaser spot, but San Fran against the Arizona Cardinals is a great spot. Purdy's, I think, throwing for the most yards in the whole league so far, and his pass above run expectation, whatever the hell it is, it's probably one of the top 5 in the league. So Purdy, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, you can go with that. Only scenario there that sucks is that Jordan Mason could just get all the scores, all the rushing yards, and ruin that one. But then you could run that one back with Harrison or McBride. McBride looks to be on track to play from that rib injury that Schefter reported late yesterday. And then I know I mentioned the Packers and the Rams game. I think you could take pieces of that and put those into those 3 stacks. A good DFS strategy on that front. So, all right, we got Dom here. Yeah, who would you take to win each game? To win each game, like you're talking about the whole slate. Let's see. All right. So, man. All right, let's run through it. We'll run through it real quick. Just straight up outright each game. I'll go through it. He said yes, sir. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna throw $1 on it. Okay. Let's go Browns over Commanders. I think you're gonna get the Commanders at their peak, and the Browns can get it done. I'm gonna go with Miami. Gonna go with Jacksonville, Houston. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I'm going the Bengals over Baltimore. Let's go with the Panthers over the Bears, San Fran over Cardinals, Broncos over Raiders, Seattle over New York, and then we're going to go Rams over Packers over Rams. Packers over Rams. That's for Sunday slate, and then if you want to go, for tonight's game, I think Pittsburgh rolls too. So yeah, there's my take on all those games. All right, so let's recap real quick. We got Texans -1. We got Packers over 48.5. We got the 6-point two-team teaser. Seahawks, 49ers. Should roll. Please, God, roll, because I want to win that damn teaser. I'm so tired of losing them. We got Daniels over 9.5 rush attempts. We got Xavier Legette over 3.5 reception yards, or receptions. Go with the latter play. Decrease units as you go up. I would take it all the way up to 6 if you're comfortable. 8 if you've got some money to play with. Kenneth Walker over 7.5 rush yards. And then we got Chuba Hubbard plus 130, plus 125 to score a touchdown today. All right, so let's get up on out of here. I appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. Let's cash some tickets, and we'll be up and out of here. See you guys.